Taking a live look here at Mar-a-Lago ahead of a possible indictment of former President Donald Trump.
So factually walking this out for you, the former commander-in-chief claiming over the weekend that he believes Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's office intends to arrest him on Tuesday as part of its probe into a hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Once an indictment has been handed down here, the Manhattan DA has then elevated that hush money payment to a felony, or it's expected that he could elevate it to a felony on the grounds that the former president made the payment to Daniels through his former attorney, Michael Cohen, which he pleaded guilty to with the explicit intent of altering the 2016 presidential election. At least that's the possibility of what the DA could do or might do with this case. This, despite both the DOJ and the former Manhattan DA Cy Vance previously declining to bring those charges.
All right, we're going to take up the case in National Report Court for the purposes of this segment. Touro University professor Thane Rosenbaum will be presenting the district attorney's side, and on the defense, defending former President Donald Trump. Monday regulars, former U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Joe DeGeneva, former Chief Counsel for the Senate Intelligence Committee Victoria Tunsing. Welcome back to National Report. And Thane, we'll start with you as our guest who hasn't been on the program today. Walk us through Bragg's potential case. And I say potential because no indictments, no charges, no arrests have been made at this point.
And Emma, let's be clear. I don't agree with this position. I'm just arguing it for you. This is an exercise. Look, Emma, I'm going to say, this is my job as the district attorney of Manhattan. I go where the evidence goes, and I do what the statute says. And the statute says that you can't falsify a business record. And even if this is a misdemeanor, before this gets to the federal case of it being a campaign finance violation. But no one is above the law. Even a former president, certainly not a candidate for president. We have credible witnesses here that this was a falsified business record, at a minimum a misdemeanor, again, could be raised to the level of a felony if it's a campaign finance violation, which it's hard to see how it's not, because Michael Cohen in this instance is not really a lawyer. He's a fixer. Everyone uses the word fixer. And that means that he was taking money to give as a bribe to a former porn star who had terribly prejudicial information about an affair she had with the president, or then the candidate for president. And we needed to shut her up. She needed to be hushed. This is called hush money payment. And so we have a credible witness in Michael Cohen who lied at first, yes, but he's already served his time. His story has been consistent ever since, that he was not performing any legal tasks, that the president was very aware what this payment was for. It was specifically to shut up Stormy Daniels. And Stormy Daniels is going to testify, hey, I'm violating the agreement I had with them. I told them I would hush my mouth. I would not tell anyone. But I must tell the world because this is what ultimately happened. And you know what I would love for Bragg to say, Emma and Sean? Hey, the Hunter Biden laptop is not in my jurisdiction, right? It was never in New York City. The Bidens have nothing to do with New York. But if they did, that's what the statute says. That's where the evidence goes. And that leads, and I would have brought that kind of a case too. So don't hold me as politically biased. I'm just doing my job. This is what the taxpayers of New York asked me to do.
Let's give a shot over here to Joe and Victoria. You may choose which one would to respond first.
Thane, I want to give you an A for effort.
Yes.
That was really very difficult.
Absolutely, completely fabulous, disingenuous, perfectly.
Let me just start with, it's not a campaign finance violation to make an agreement, a civil settlement, before you start running for office. Let's get that very, very clear. This was not, he didn't even use campaign finance funds, unlike John Edwards, the former senator who was paying off his mistress for a child born out of wedlock. He used campaign funds, and the feds brought the case. But let me just even go back to one simple thing in the statute of limitations. Falsifying business records, who knows, under New York law, 2 years misdemeanor. Even if it's a 5-year statute of limitation, there's the argument by those who are against Trump is, well, we told it. It was told, it was set aside for a while, time out, because he wasn't in New York. Now, the rationale for that, and I'm sure you'll agree, Thane, is for fugitives who are hiding from the state. Like no one in the New York District Attorney's Office knew where Donald Trump was for the last 7 years? Really?
All right. Final thoughts from Joe, and then we got to go. About 30 seconds for you.
A disgraceful exercise of prosecutorial indiscretion by Alvin Bragg. It should get everybody out to the polls to vote him out of office when he.
All right. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, Professor Thane Rosenbaum joining us live. Joe and Vic, if you don't mind, stick around. We appreciate it. But first, a live look right now. This is at Al Abbas Mosque.